Welcome to another edition of 100% Canucks. John Shannon here, soon to be joined by Landon Ferraro and Tyson Barry as the Canucks continue on their road trip. A 2-1 victory in Newark on Sunday afternoon against the Devils, and an impressive 3-0 victory against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden in New York on Tuesday night. Another impressive victory since the trade. It's funny, in so many ways, the Quinn Hughes trade feels like forever ago, and yet they've only played 2 games since. And it's one of those things where I think it will probably linger for a while. And the pain of the trade has been, I think, neutralized a little bit because the team has not necessarily played well, but has won both of the games on this road trip. And Zeev Buium has been impressive. Ogren has scored, and Marco Rossi has done exactly what he has expected to do as the number 2 center for this hockey club. Still waiting for Elias Pettersson to return to the lineup. Perhaps it will happen Friday night, but he is getting closer. As Patrick Alvin told us on Monday, he thought at some point on this road trip, number 40 would return. So we'll get Tyson Barry's reaction to the trade and see what else is going on in his life, and Landon will update us on what he thinks the Canucks are and where they should be going on this edition of 100% Canucks.
I won't keep you long. Darren Millard with a tip for everyone who loves great hockey podcasts like this one. John Shannon and I host the OG of 100% Hockey, coming your way multiple times a week. The guest list is the best you will find. Multiple shows a week ensures you won't miss out on any news, and we dig even deeper into the biggest stories around the NHL. Most of our guests are also friends, so I promise there'll be more conversation beyond the X's and the O's. John really does get bored with that after a while. So join us for 100% Hockey. The name says it all. Subscribe now while you enjoy thinking about it. And enjoy.
Welcome back to 100% Canucks. John Shannon, Landon Ferraro, Tyson Barry. Tyson, I hate to say it, Tyson, you look a little tanned.
Yeah, I was up on the slopes there in Aspen, and I didn't think to put any sunscreen on, so apparently it gets a little worse up there.
This retirement world is kind of fun, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
All right, we've heard Landon's view of what the trade last Friday was all about. What do you think from both sides, from Quinn's perspective and then from the Canucks perspective?
Yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts, even before the trade happened, I knew that was, I didn't know what would happen this year, but it was probably inevitable, it seemed like. But, the initial thought is kind of when you move a guy, call him generational like that, you're probably not going to win the trade. It's tough to win the trade. That being said, if you're going to have to do it, you want to get the haul back and some young guys. And I think, they got some good players in that trade coming back. First round pick, it's tough to say because I mean, it's Quinn Hughes. So the Minnesota Wild just got a heck of a lot better. But if you're going to lose them, you want to get as much as you can, and you certainly don't want to lose them for nothing. So I think they got some good players in the return, and it's really all you can do.
So Landon, we just so that we're current with this, they play the Islanders on Friday night. We've seen the kids. I call them kids, but we've seen the new guys on the block for 2 games now. Your verdict is what?
They come out with 2 wins, so you're already happy with that. But at the same time, the way that the new players have come in, Buium got some lucky bounces that first game, but still he had a goal and an assist. He played a bunch of minutes and handled the puck. He did exactly what you want and need him to do, being that kind of the focal point of the trade, being a young defenseman that has a ton of skill that people say can get, closer to a Quinn Hughes level when he gets to his top end of his game. So, he's shown well. Rossi, is a center that they've been after for a couple of years now, and they get him into the lineup, especially with Pettersson still out. Like, that is a massive help. And, he hasn't factored in a bunch yet, but at the same time, his speed is there, his hunt for the puck is there, so he's looked good. And then Ogren, he's a bottom six guy that provides some physicality, and he's done just that. And then on top of it, he gets a pass out of the zone from Carlson and goes up and squeaks one through Jonathan Quick for his first goal, first point of the season. So, he seems like the switch has helped him out a little bit. And so overall, like, you have to be really happy. And, you're not going to expect this Canuck team to just keep on winning right now. But the way that trade has worked out, that's made them deeper while they've needed bodies with the amount of injuries they have. And the guys have done well.
So, the fascination for me is that Quinn Hughes, when he got traded, he went right to St. Paul and played. The three guys that Canucks got started on the road. Tyson, is there an advantage at starting at home or starting on the road when you get traded in that scenario?
Honestly, I think maybe you're probably, I don't know, it might be kind of nice to just jump in on a road trip. To be honest, you pack your overnight bag and you're gone. There's so much that goes into trades. I've been a part of one in the season, one in the off season. I think it'd be kind of nice just to pack your duffel, have the trainer send your gear, and go meet the boys on the road. Because there's, once you land in the city, you're kind of looking forward to like finding a place to live, and then if you have family or whatever it is, you've got some logistics to deal with. So, in terms of just going to meet the guys and play hockey, I think it'd be nice to meet them on the road. Go grab a nice dinner like you usually would, and you're right into it.
Well, in fact, on Sunday night they had the team dinner at one of the Aquilini family restaurants in New York City after the New Jersey victory. So,
well, there you go.
And I was going to say, I wasn't traded when I was in pro. I got traded in junior, but that was in the summer. But hitting waivers and joining a new team, I liked it that it was on the road, kind of for what you're saying, Tice. Like, for me, you already have to meet so many people when you get to your new team, all the trainers, the medical staff, the coaching staff, like all of it. It's a lot. But then you get back to the home city and you're meeting the rest of the trainers. Like, there's so many more people involved, and it was already a little overwhelming trying to get organized because I got picked up and I played that night. Like, there was no time. So I don't know. It felt like it at least just let me ease my way in instead of jumping all the way.
I agree. Just take a bunch of the logistics, and you're meeting enough people, like you said. So just go and grab dinner and a glass of wine with the boys, get some sleep, and go for morning skate. That seems simple enough.
So when you go in the room, do you walk around every stall and shake every hand, or how does it work? How does it work?
I think you do. I've seen a lot of guys. I've been traded twice, but I've seen a lot of guys traded to our team, to our teams over the years, and it's generally like, oh man, when I got traded from Nashville, it was actually super awkward. Like, they were going through like a full kind of unloaded their team, and I met them in Florida, and I walked into the meal room. There was like 8 guys in there, and I didn't recognize a single one because they were all coming up from the minors and young guys, and so it just wasn't the.
But they all recognized you.
Yeah, I think they were all kind of like nervous around me, so it was kind of like it was kind of awkward. And then Phil and Yost came in the room, guys I knew, and I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, I'm flying here. Yeah. So I think you go up and you introduce yourself. If you walk into the room, you kind of just do a little victory lap and introduce yourself to everyone, but it can be a bit awkward.
It's like the standard, whoever's in the room, you go around, shake their hands, and then you go stand in your stall, and anyone else that comes in, they come up to you. So you're hoping there's not a ton, so everyone at least can come to you. You don't have to do a 30-minute lap of the room.
I think there's actually a funny video of me walking into the mailroom in Florida where it's just like really awkward.
And when I started new businesses, remembering names is a challenge. Is it a challenge for players too?
I would say players less so. You get nicknames down and you're pretty good, but then it's like I would say like the staff and the behind the scenes and even some of the assistant coaches and those guys. You're like, hey, what's that skills guy's name again? Like, so there's definitely a lot of names to take in.
You get the nicknames down, and then after like a month, you're like, okay, now what is that guy's first name?
Yeah, you
Like I
start to
should
dial it
probably
in.
know
Yeah,
his
you
real
start to put
name
the pieces
here.
together. 100%.
That's why you need to get traded before Halloween, because so you can go to the Halloween party.
Oh yeah, then you get to
Yeah.
know everyone.
All right. So does this change and alter, Landon, where this team is going? I mean, and quite frankly, have the two games changed anything for this hockey club?
Like, are you saying did the two games that they win change what they're going to be doing moving forward?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
or I mean, attitudinally. I mean, is there hope? I mean,
Is that a word, attitudely?
it is. There is, as Danny Gallivan once said, there is now. Have you heard that story, Tyson? So
No, I haven't.
a lady in Halifax wrote to Danny Gallivan and said, "Mr. Gallivan, there's no such word as cannonading." And he wrote the letter back to her because he used to say there's a cannonading drive. And he wrote a letter back to the lady, said, "Dear madam, there is now." So,
There you go. That's the attitudely.
I mean, is there hope? I mean, how do you view where this team is, even though by the way, I was in New York on Tuesday, and every sportscast on Tuesday night after they beat the Rangers, the lament was the Rangers lost to the worst team in hockey. And God, I mean, if you're and the Canucks are still there because they're playing on Long Island on Friday night. So every player that watched the sportscast, if they did, they got reminded that they're the worst team in hockey.
I don't think they need much reminding right now. I think they know where they're sitting, and but no, like, I don't think it changes what their plan is. I would hope that it doesn't change anything. They made the decision to trade Hughes. They're going younger. They need to continue down that path. And the nice part of being in the situation that you're in, once you get past the shock of sitting at the bottom of the league, is you get younger and those players have minutes to play.
You can settle right into the bottom of the league.
Yeah, you can settle right in and focus on the future, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's a good thing, though. Come
no,
on,
I don't think it is. But once you watch a few slip away and all the other teams are putting points up and you start to fall 8, 10, 12 points behind, that's you settle in.
That's a slippery slope.
Yes.
But, I do think that, it's a different type of hope now. It's not, I would think pretty much all the fans are on the same page of, like, their hope isn't that they somehow turn this around and get to the playoffs. Their hope is that they keep getting younger, and the smiles come from seeing the young guys playing their ass off and taking steps. And yeah, there's going to be mistakes, but they're learning on the go, and they can see these young players getting better and hoping that they get another high draft pick with their original pick. Then they'll have Minnesota's. You have Sherwood, you have Garland, you have a couple other guys that, Sherwood's going to be a first or a second. Garland's going to get a decent little haul back as well. Can you trade Evander Kane for a third or fourth? Like, you're grabbing all these draft picks, and there's hope in the future, which, if you're a Vancouver Canuck fan, I moved here in 2002, and other than the couple years that they had really good seasons, all I've heard is this fan base wants this rebuild, right? Like, they've been waiting for this, so they're primed and ready to, and made that first step in doing so.
So you're convinced that Sherwood's an easy one to think that with his contract situation the way it is that he's gone, but you're convinced that Garland and well, particularly Garland, because I can see the Kane trade too, but you're convinced that Garland is going to be gone?
I mean, I don't know how
you have to start with something. You have to have something.
I have a question. Who is safe? Who do you guys think is safe? Who's not on the table with the right offer?
Well, I mean, the guys that have no move clauses, but even there, you have a discussion with them because do you want to be a part of, a couple of years of not great teams as we're restocking? They do think that with the move that they brought these three players in and what can be coming, they don't think this is going to be a long rebuild. It'll be a quicker turnaround, but do those guys want to give
it'll feel like a long
of
2 years, but you look what San Jose's doing, like you can turn it around
exactly
faster than you think.
And if you look at San Jose, like you bring up San Jose, if you look at them, they traded everyone. And now they have the young players, but they're trying to find some of those older guys to be able to come in. If they would have held on to even a Granlund last year to be playing there now, like to have a bit more help, it would be a little bit easier for them. But I don't know how you don't look at this team right now and look at a Garland and think like that can be a really good piece. And that guy wants to win. He wants to win now. I know he loves Vancouver, and man, I love watching him. Like he's a water bug that somehow gets the puck out of every battle. Like he's a phenomenal player, but you have to look at next year and the year after, and he's a piece that could help bring something else back that helps moving forward.
Tyson, you were through this early in your career in Denver where things were down more than they were up at times. How does a player manage the headspace of knowing that, gosh, we're not going to win for a while?
Yeah. It's bleak. Some years were worse than others. The one year we were like, I think we were the last place, we're the worst team in the league since the Atlanta Thrashers entered. So that was a unique offering. I think we finished with 44 points or something.
Was that Jared Bednar's first?
That was Bedsy's first year. Yeah, Patty quit like 2 weeks before camp, and it was a bit of a. And we actually had we had good players. We had Nate and Gabe and Miko, and I think Iggy was on the team. But you get close to the trade deadline, and you're so far out of it, and you're like, it was actually funny because everyone thought they were going to get traded, but we were so bad, like. Nobody wanted any of us. We couldn't even get a guy moved. It was insane. I think the Kings took Iggy, as kind of like a legendary, he's a legend, bring him in. Other than that, it was stale. Guys, it was funny. Guys were coming on the plane with like massive suitcases. Nobody got dealt.
Well, I guess Quinn Hughes went on the road trip with a massive suitcase.
Yeah,
he was expecting that it was going to get done certainly before the trade freeze on Friday night.
There you go. Yeah, the size of the suitcase, depending on the trip, is a dead giveaway.
All right, let's take a step back. We'll take a quick break. Landon and Tyson and John on the Canucks on this edition of 100% Canucks. Back after this.
All right, listen up. Today I want to talk about giving 110%. Giving 100% means giving everything you got. Giving 110% means giving 10% more than is humanly possible. If we're going to win as a team, we need 100% of you guys giving 110% 100% of the time. If only 50% of you guys give 110%, and 50% of you guys give 100%, I guarantee you 100%, we'd only win 50% of our games. Suppose 75% of the 110% gave only 50%, and 50% of the 100% gave 25%, and 75% of the 110% were not feeling 100%, then we'd be in a heap of trouble. That's why we need 100% of you guys giving 110% 100% of the time. Okay. Let's go out and play some hockey.
Okay, before we keep going, Tyson, we joked about your tan in Aspen. What were you doing in Aspen?
Are we back on now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was.
Is that okay? We can be back on.
Yeah, no, it's great.
You got to get used to this TV and radio and whatever.
He likes accounting, John. He's very professional.
Yeah, give me a heads up. You just looked like you were deep in thought. Next thing you know, you're firing me live questions.
I'm always deep in thought.
It was actually awesome. It was really cool. It was a Colorado Avalanche NHL alumni game, outdoor game, put on by Colorado Extreme. It was a blast, man. It was like, I think it was, I don't know, must have been 30 ex-NHL guys up there, and just a really cool event, raising money for, getting underprivileged kids into hockey in the state. And man, what a great experience to get up to Aspen and, I got to see a bunch of former teammates and kind of legends of the game, some guys I'd never met, and got to spend some time and have some drinks and hit the slopes. And it was just what a great weekend.
I'm just curious, what player had you not met that you said, holy smokes, that guy's he's cool?
Yeah, I'd met Hank Lundqvist before, but like just in passing. So I got to spend a bit of time with him and had a really good time. Got to see old teammates. Duncan Keith was up there, and Nate Thompson I'd always kind of seen in passing, but got to hang with him a bit. He's a cool dude, and it was just it's fun when you get all those old national leaguers. Matthew Barnaby was up there, and Brian McCabe, and
wow,
yeah, it was a good turnout.
I'll tell you what, that's when by the time you get to that age, your career was great, even though you were. Even though some of those years in the NHL weren't as great as people thought they were.
Oh yeah, you just you kind of, your legend grows as you get older, I think.
So back to the Canucks, Landon. How do you manage through the holidays? I mean, because it's going to be a challenge. 3 days off is what goes through your mind when you're thinking about what's going on with the hockey club.
Well, I mean, if you're one of the players, you get the 3 days off. You spend the first day and a half of it very happily trying not to think of anything hockey and just enjoying a little bit of a break, especially after, the guys that were here last season and now through the start of this year. Like it's been a bit of a grind for them, and to have that little bit of a reset and be with some friends and family and just have some fun it's huge. Like it when things aren't great, those little moments that you can come above water and get some breath again are really nice. And so it'll be a good little recharge for them, especially after a long road trip. Long road trip out east. That was a tough one to get out. So it's a bit of a reset, but past that, if you have a good meal, you make sure your kids get a couple good gifts, and then it's right back to work. Like those days go quick at the holiday.
Are you aware of the trade freeze? Are you aware of it?
Oh yeah, you know that you're safe for a few days, and that's what I mean. Like it's the first time since the beginning of training camp, since the day you walked into that rink, that you can actually sit down and not have to worry about anything because nothing can happen.
Especially this year with the condensed schedule, like these guys have been going. Yeah, I think it's take a load off, get cozy, get a little eggnog in you, and think about it when you wake up for the day after, or the 27th.
Tell you what, if you're a regular listener to this podcast and you listen to Tyson, all he's doing is drinking red wine and eggnog. I mean,
it's
what
like
does the guy need? I mix in a couple guineas, a couple chili ones here and there. But
I was about to say, it's like he's a part owner of a beverage company with these little plugins he's throwing out.
It's about having the right sidekick at the right time. You need something.
We should start a new segment, John.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, new segment when it'll be life advice with Tyson, and it always ends with some type of drink in your hand.
You know what the segment would be is explain the situation, and I'll tell you what to drink.
All right, so explain the situation. You're 13 and 17, and you're 32nd in the NHL. What are you drinking?
Oh man, I'm probably. In the afternoon, I'm probably going to have about 2 IPAs. And it's going to take me right into a nice, I'll start making dinner and pour myself a beautiful little Burgundy, and then finish with an eggnog with the fire on. And, that'll take me to about 10 p.m. and then I'm tucked right in.
Not that you've thought about this at all, though, eh?
Yeah, well, just because I'm not playing doesn't mean I'm about to tuck into the same program once I get off the horn here.
Well, and they face a team on Friday night, the New York Islanders, that is one of the surprise teams of the NHL. Have turned things around. Your old coach Patrick Waugh has matured as a coach. I think he's a lot more stable than he was when you had him banging the glass against Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah, he was raw.
Yeah, but and they've got. an 18-year-old in Matthew Schaefer that is the real deal, Tyson, right?
It appears that way. I think people talk about him kind of in the same breath as Quinn and Kale. Probably a little bit early for that, but man, is he good? He's making a difference and consistently. Yeah, I mean, he's changed their team the way that they're using him and the way that he's kind of delivering. It's not easy to do at that age. So all the credit to him and like you said, Patty seems like he's got a good dressing room there, and they're building a good culture. So I think pretty impressive.
Have you been able to notice that Patrick is a different guy than he was when he started with you guys?
No, I don't. I don't keep up enough with his interviews and stuff to really take tabs. My time with Patty, I actually enjoyed it. He was a great motivator. He was intense, passionate. You could get into it with him, but he kind of liked it. And then the next day he'd come up, he'd say, tabernacle, and kind of have a laugh with you. But Patty he was intense, no doubt. But I haven't.
Were there any tactics? Was he tactical guy at all?
But yeah. He would have an idea, and then he would just come in and tell you to try it. And some of them were good. Some of them were brutal. He used to pull the goalie with 9 minutes left. I think I set an NHL record for the most empty net goals against that year. It was I was on for 20 something empty netters. I was on for 4 in one game in San Jose. Pulled the tendy with 9 minutes left. I went tick 4 in the last 9 with no tendy. I was like, "What are we doing here?"
Don't use plus minus in your contract negotiation.
I went to arbitration that year, and they were like, "Oh, you were minus 24." I was like, "Yeah, I was on for 28 empty netters. What do you want?"
What that sounds like to me is, while you're still playing, you're sitting around in the room or wherever, and you're talking about things that you would do or try if you were coaching. It sounds like he got the coaching job and was one of the few guys ever to be like, I'm going to follow through on all those ideas we had and just see what sticks.
The idea that I had around the fire on a few glasses of rum, I'm going to let it rip.
Okay, now we've got the red wine, we've got the eggnog, and now we got the IPAs, and now we're into the rum.
Yeah, Patty was into the rum when he decided to pull the tendy with 9 minutes left. He must have been. Otherwise,
his liquor cabinets, they're going to be depleted by the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Landon, your dad played on the island. Was that before you were?
I was born. Don't remember anything from it. I was just getting shipped around in a tiny little package.
You were just hammering milk.
Yeah, crushing that. So no, we were there a couple years and then to the Rangers. I honestly don't remember much till we got to LA. And, maybe I just like the beach a lot more than snow.
Well, it'll be the Islanders, as I said, are one of the best stories. Their goaltending is better than I think that people give it credit for. Sorokin has had a great year. Again, that's part of the Patrick Waugh story, because when he got there, he hated him. He did not like the way Sorokin played. And
I saw him out there giving him some pointers and stuff. Maybe he was giving him a little bit of goalie coaching.
Well, and the thing, they seem to have bridged that gap. And of course, I'm not sure Bo's going to play after getting hurt last week, which would be hopefully he's healthy enough if he gets a chance to be picked to the Canadian Olympic team, but I'm not hopeful for that. But the Islanders are a fascinating story. They're a lot deeper, I think, than people realize. A lot faster, Landon, don't you think?
Yeah, and but you brought up what's the hope right now for Canuck fans, and they're going in to play the Islanders. That's kind of the hope, that you end up at the top of the draft and you pick a player that comes in, and that one player literally changes the course of your franchise. And when he, not just the way that he plays, but you can see the life that is brought in to the rest of the players, and how that's kind of changed the mentality in that dressing room, and how they go into games, and this year how they're able to close out some of those games where they really struggled in the past. So it's kind of a live picture of what your hope could be as a Canuck fan, of seeing that 18-year-old come in and change your team.
Yep.
You had an extra day in New York, and they've actually probably stayed at the same hotel for 6 days.
That's the best. Talk about things you miss about the league. Going to New York and having a home base in Manhattan or the meeting. Yeah, good for them.
Well, and so they played Tuesday against the Rangers and Friday against the Islanders. So that means that extra day to do your Christmas shopping and have a beverage, right? Have a nice dinner. What do you do?
What did I do?
What would you, an extra day in New York, what are you doing?
What did I do or what are they doing? It might be two different things. I was always on the road. I was fast to make friends in different cities. So I'd usually hook up with some folks that were in the city and go for nice dinners and
guys in other teams or
other teams or just local guys or with a stretch like that, you're imagining you're probably chucking a rookie party in there somewhere. So you might just be fighting a hangover for rotting one of the days. I loved getting out and exploring, and I would go check out some during the day some like art stuff or just whatever kind of was cool in town, and then at night I'd sniff out just try and find what the best restaurant in the city was and get a little crew and go do that.
Would you go to Broadway? Would you go to a play?
Not a huge play guy.
You're not?
No, I'm not a huge Broadway guy.
Wow.
But when in Rome, Yeah.
You can be convinced.
Oh yeah, I'd do anything once.
They serve alcohol at the intermission. You know that, huh?
I know. It's just I went to
problem is it takes too long to get to
year.
intermission for them.
New York's a great city. A lot of history and lots of cool things to do there, and lots of world's your oyster there. Pick your poison.
What about you, Landon?
I had a roommate early in the American League. Tyson, you remember Tristan Grant?
I remember.
Played for the Giants. He was a fighter, and he was an awesome guy. But so he got me. He's like, we go to all these cities and we don't see anything. So he got like kind of a setup. And Tice, you would have been maybe not for the first part, but for the second part, you would have been all in. But you'd go see whatever in that city, and like in the minors, it was San Antonio. Like, go see the Alamo and go kind of do the history thing. Then for me, I loved one hell of a nap on the road. You get that room pitch black, have a good shutdown, and then it's go find a dinner, go find a place to hang out after for a little, and then right back to the wrapper again.
Oh, you wouldn't catch me nap. Game days, I go down like 2 or 3, but non-game days, you'll catch me out and about.
Yeah, see, and it wasn't like I don't want to make it seem like I was trying to be a professional. I was getting my rest. I just love a nap more than anything. Like, it is one of my favorite things in the world.
Good for the health, man. Get down.
Well, we'll see what the Canucks can do on the rest of this road trip, again, starting with game number 3 on the trip against the New York Islanders. Thanks for this, boys.
Thanks, guys.
Chat next time.
Oh, yeah, happy holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Landon and I'll be back next week for one more dab at this, but thanks for listening and watching this edition of 100% Canucks.